This is how I build a budget deck. First off, I like to start off with a very heavy theme. We'll use my Shannon Legends deck for example. Then I'll head over to scryfall.com. This is not an ad or anything, it's just a really amazing search site, especially their advanced search function. And if you're very familiar with regex, then it's even more powerful, but the syntax guide will give you a good start on that. So anyways, I'll start entering things to narrow down my search, so legendary in the text box and a legendary type line, and cards that are only legal in my commander's colors, and of course the best function for one building budget, the price. I usually set it to less than $1, but sometimes I'll go a little bit lower. And then you can hit search with these options, which will give you results for cards that fit this criteria. Then I go to my preferred deck building website. For me, it's Moxfield.com, and I'll start entering the cards into a deck list. On Moxfield, if you press the view options, it'll give you a list of preferences that you can set for viewing your deck. And if you scroll down, there's an option you can check to see the price of each card in the deck. Also, as you're deck building, you can press these 3 dots here, and it'll come up with this menu, and in that menu, there's a function for you to be able to update to the cheapest cards available. So I'll continue going back and forth adding cards from my Scryfall search onto Moxfield, and also updating the parameters for things that I might need for the deck, trying to keep as close to the theme as possible, which will naturally make your deck synergistic. Also, a very helpful function for me is that whenever I'm looking for ramp outside of green decks, I do produces any minus T land, which means cards that don't have the type land, and it gives me a list of potential ramp sources that still fit the theme. But a lot of the time I run a bunch of ramp pieces that are also friendly to the budget, like Prismatic Lens, of course Arcane Signet, and while we're talking about signets, I believe every single signet is under $1, and very close to that are the talismans, but depending on which colors you're running, they could be over $1. Mindstone's a fine ramp piece if you don't care too much about color. Getting a little bit worse, Fractured Power Stone, but 2 mana untapped mana rocks are kind of tough to come by. I've tried Solar Transformer in a few decks, and it's fine. It's a little slow, but it's fine. And if I still really need ramp like in a monocolored deck, then I'll tap into the diamonds. Building budget, I think, is a really fun and challenging way to test your deck building skills, and I think it makes for fun gameplay as well, so try it out sometime and see what you think.